Hey, I know this walk ain't popular, but I follow where your light goes. I know it's you, nothing impossible. Connected to my armor, bro, shining like a light bulb.
Barak Yahuwah, Ruma, Mu Yahuwah, Yadata Yahuwah. Oh, let's see into your Kadash name of Yahuwah. We Barak you, Ruma, Mu Yahuwah. Shabbat Shalom, beloved family of Yahuwah, Yahusha. And to those who are not a part of this family, we give our shalom and welcome to you to Yahuwah's Chosen People Assembly channel. And today we'll be going into the understanding of what is prophecy and understanding the purpose of it. Barak Yahuwah. We'll be looking at what is prophecy and understanding the purpose of prophecy. What is it designed for, designed to do? Because of religion, especially Christianity, we have been given a false narrative, false belief of what prophecy is. And for that, so many people today have the wrong idea of true prophecy. And they are missing out on a lot because they do not study to show themselves approved unto Yah. They show themselves approved unto man. But today, we are nullifying the law. They are nullifying the law. We're not being obedient to its commands and all this stuff. So guess what? We're going to lose knowledge. This says his people perish because of lack of knowledge. Yah's people perish because of lack of knowledge. And because they lean to their own understanding and not lean to Yah's understanding. Everyone thinks this is what it is. Everyone thinks this is what it is, or this is what it should be. But no one says this is what Yah says it should be, according to scripture, according to his word. This is everyone's own opinion. They're adding and taking away from the scripture. So, we'll be going through the misconception of prophecy. So today is another misconception video, and we'll be looking at prophecy. What is it? What is the purpose for prophecy? Hallelujah. But before we jump into it, I'd like to go into the presence of Yahuwah, even though enter through his gates with thanksgiving to the Yahuwah and into Yahuwah's courts with praise. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Barak Yahuwah. Barak Yahuwah. And then we'll pull off Hallelujah. Barak Yahuwah. Aminu. Ba Shamaim. Kadashki Shamka. Malakutka Bua. Ya Ra'uka Asha. Al Arad Skan Bashamayim. Natan Lanu Hayum Ha Laham Bahazara. Usalah Lanu Lahatenu. Ki Lanu Salah Utam. Lahata Imkam Kwara Lanu. Uparat Lanu La Taha. Uyasha Lanu Ma Rasha. La Malakutka Shula. Haka Hu Hakabad. Wahasham Al Kal Shamut. Yahuwah Yahusha. Or Yahusha Yahuwah. Aman. Barak Yahuwah. Now time for the translation of what we just prayed or said. Hallelujah. Our Father in heaven, separated is your name. Your kingdom come. Yah, your will be done on earth, so it is in heaven. Distribute us today covenant bread in our need, in the need, and forgive us for our crimes, as we forgive them for their crimes against us. Lead us not astray, and rescue us from evildoers. For your kingdom reigns, the power and the esteem. In the name above all names, Yahusha, who is Yahuwah, Aman, which means so be it. Barak Yahuwah, Ruma Mu Yahuwah, Allah Yah. So as I said, today we'll be going through another misconception video. And in this misconception sequence, we'll be looking at what is prophecy and understanding the purpose of it. Hallelujah. So we thank Yahuwah even though for his truth, for this understanding, and what he's about to do. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So as you can see on the screen, we are at the book of Barashit, Genesis. And we're going to read the first place that a prophecy ever took place. And regarding who? Regarding the man, Adam, and his Asha, his wife, Hua. Now, Genesis or Barashit 2, verse 15 reads, And Yahuwah Elohim took the man and put in him the garden of Adam, and put him in the garden of Adam to work it, and to guard it. And Yahuwah Elohim commanded man, saying, Eat of every tree of the garden, but do not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall certainly die. So he's prophesying to them something to come if they should do this. So basically, he's warning them. He's warning them not to do something, or else this is going to happen. All right, let's go to chapter 3 and let's read what happened. Now, in chapter 3, verse 1, and the Nahash is the Arabic word which means serpent, dragon, or enchanter. So the Nahash, the serpent, was more crafty than all the lives of the field which Yahuwah Allah had made. And he said to the woman, Is it true that Allah has said, Do not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the Nahash, We are to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahuwah has said, Do not eat of it, nor touch it, lest you die. And the Nahash said to the woman, Man, you shall certainly not die. False prophet, false prophecy. For Yahuwah knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes shall be open, and you shall be like Allah, knowing good and evil. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, a tree desirable to make one wise. And she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together, and made loin coverings for themselves. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Elohim walking about in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Elohim among the trees of the garden. And Yahuwah Elohim called unto Adam and said to him, Where are you? Sorry. And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid myself. And he said, Who made you know that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you that you should not eat? And the man said, The woman who you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I ate. And Yahuwah Elohim said to the woman, What is this? What is this you have done? The woman said, The Nahash deceived me, and I ate. And Yahuwah Allah said to the Nahash, Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all the livestock. Man. And more than every beast of the field. On your belly you are to go, and eat dust all the days of your life. And I put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed, and he shall crush your head, and you shall crush his heel. To the woman he said, I greatly increase your sorrow and your conception. Bring forth children, you shall bring forth children in pain, and your desire is for your husband, and he does rule over you. And to the man he said, Because you have listened to the voice of your Asha, your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, Do not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you, and in toil you are to eat of it all the days of your life. And the ground shall bring forth thorns and thistles for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your face you are to eat bread until you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and to the dust you return. So we saw right here what happened. In chapter 2, Yahuwah warned them not to eat the fruit of the tree of good and evil, or right and wrong. Also, in this commandment, in this instruction, he warns them. He gave them a command not to eat, but he also gave a warning with this command. And this warning was, if you do eat the fruit of this tree, you are going to die. You are going to die. Did he listen? No, he did not. And what happened right here? He did die. Adam did not live the time period that he was supposed to. He did die and went back to the earth. Now let's go to another place and look at another part of prophecy. One that's very, very popular to everyone. I mean, even a child know this prophecy and know this story. Barak Yahuwah. We're at the book of Jonah. We're at the book of Jonah, who was swallowed by that big fish. Some believe a whale, some believe some kind of fish that got really huge. So this prophecy, this story is very popular. A lot of persons know this story. So let's look at what happened right here. No, chapter 3, verse 1 reads, and the word of Yahuwah came to Jonah as the second time, saying, because remember in chapter 2, in the previous chapter, Yahuwah told him to go and to warn the city of Nineveh, to prophesy to it. But he did not listen, he did not obey, and he went on a ship trying to flee and escape Yahuwah and escape this command and instruction. And he was swallowed by that big fish, that great fish. So right here in chapter 3, Yahuwah is saying to him the second time, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, Barak Yahuwah, and proclaim to it the message that I am speaking to you. And Jonah arose and went to Nineveh, according to the word of Yahuwah. Now Nineveh was a great city before Yahuwah, of 3 days' journey. And Jonah began to go into the city on the first day's walk. And he cried out and said, yet 40 days Nineveh shall be overthrown, destroyed. And the males are the people, rather, of Nineveh. Because whenever you see this, it's mostly talking about people, mankind, humans. And the people of Nineveh believed in Yahuwah. They believed in Yahuwah and proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth from the greatest to the least of them. And the word reached the sovereign. Sovereign is another word for king. And the word reached the sovereign of Nineveh. So he arose from his throne. The king of Nineveh, he arose from his throne, took off his robe, covered himself with sackcloth, and sat in ashes. And he proclaimed and said throughout Nineveh, by the decree of the king and his nobles, no man or beast, herd or flock shall taste whatever. Let them not eat, let them not even drink water. But let man and beast be covered with sackcloth and call mightily to Yahuwah. And let each one turn from his evil way and from the violence that is in his hands. Let me highlight this in another color. Let me highlight this one in another color. Yahuwah. And this one as well. Yahuwah. No, he says, verse 9, who knows whether Yahuwah does turn and relent and shall turn away from the heat of his displeasure. So they are proclaiming a fast in attempt that Yahuwah will not go through with this prophecy. Now let's see if Yahuwah listened, and did he continue to destroy the city, or did he not? So that we do not perish. So verse 10 says that, and Yahuwah saw their works, that they turned from their evil way, and Yahuwah relented from the evil which he had said he would do to them, and he did not do it. So, based on that reading, those two readings, what is prophecy? Prophecy is foreseeing future events, things to come in the future. And when we say future events, I'm not talking about 10 years, 15 years, 100 years from now. A prophecy can be in regards to tomorrow. Someone can come and say to you, by tomorrow this time, you're going to do this, or this is going to happen. And then when tomorrow comes, it happens. A prophecy can be within a few hours from now. Someone can come to you and say, hey, in the next hour, Yah is going to do this, or this is going to happen. And then in that next hour, it happens. So prophecy gives you a glimpse, a peek into the future, to what's to come. Because according to our Eastern culture, what's in front of us is the past, and the future is behind us. Now that sounds weird, right? Especially to our Western state of mind, our Western culture, how we understand things. They tell us that the future is in front of us and the past is behind us. But that's not how our Abra people, our Asian ancestors saw it. The past is in front of him and the future is behind him. Why? Because the past, you can see what you have done. You see and know what you have done and know what you have heard and experienced. But the future, you don't know what's in the future. So it's just like whatever is in front of your view, the view angle that you have in the front, because remember, the eyes is in front of you. Your eyes is in front of you. So you can see whatever is in front of you. But can you see exactly what's behind your head, behind your back? The only way you can do that is if you look within a mirror, or if you turn around and look behind you. So that's what the future is. That's how they saw it. That's the breakdown. That's the understanding of how they saw the future. It's behind them because they cannot see what's in the future, but they can see what's in their past because they know their past. They know what they've done. So prophecy is giving you a glimpse, a peek into the future events to come to pass, to be unfold. No, not only does it give you a glimpse or a peek, it can give you an instruction, and it can also give you a warning. It gives you prophecy. True prophecy tells you what to do and what not to do, so that you may have a wonderful success, or so that you can escape dangers. Like Yahuwah can say to you right now, hey, tomorrow a red car is going to stop at your feet pretending to be a taxi. Do not go into it. It's not a taxi. It's not a cab. Walk away from it. And then tomorrow comes at the time that Yahuwah tells you, and when you look, you see that exact red cab looking kind of suspicious. And because you're probably late, you want to take whatever cab you can find so you can reach and get to work on time. But remembering the prophecy, what Yahuwah told you not to go into it, you did not. Then maybe getting another cab, you went down the road, and then when you look down the road, there's a little bit of traffic being piled up. And when you get closer to see what's going on, you see that same red cab, that same red car caught in an accident, and maybe being up on the top of the roof, or maybe it's on fire, or maybe it's over a cliff, whatever the case may be. And you're like, whoa, it's a good thing that I had listened, or else if I had gotten into that cab, I would have crashed and I would have died. So it can warn you, it can give you an instruction of what not to do, and it can also tell you what to do to inherit what's to come. Now, Yahuwah can say to you, someone is going to come to you. In order to gain this, you're going to do this so you can get it. And when you do it, you get it. So prophecy, the purpose of prophecy is to give instructions to what is to come. whether of good or of evil, whether of what to do and what not to do. Prophecy is supposed to lead you back to Yahuwah. Prophecy is designed especially for those who are not of Yahuwah, who are not living a righteous life. Whenever they are given a prophecy, it's designed to bring them back to the truth, to righteousness, to Yahuwah. So that's the understanding behind prophecy. It's supposed to lead you to Yahuwah. It's not supposed to lead you to doing what you please or what you want. It's not supposed to lead you to more wickedness or unrighteousness. It's not supposed to lead you to idols or demons. It's supposed to lead you back to the Creator and being obedient. Because when Yahuwah looks out for you like that, you feel grateful and you now feel a need to repay Him, to try to repay Him at least. And how do we do that? The scripture says, we avenge all disobedience when our obedience is fulfilled or complete. So in order to repay Yahuwah for his acts of kindness, we will not be obedient if we're not obedient. But if we are obedient, then we continue to be obedient so that we can be protected from the dangers to come, so that we can be protected from the punishment to come. That's what prophecy is designed for, to protect you, to lead you back to Yahuwah, to get you to be obedient or to get you to stay obedient, to keep you away from perishing. It is for your good or your well-being. Prophecy is not all about money and all this thing that they have made prophecy to become today. Whenever you would go into see anything, you hear our pastor say that he's going to prophesy over you. It's always about vanity. It's always about being successful. Oh, I see you having a house. Oh, I see you getting cars. Oh, I see this happening to you. Oh, I see that. It's always something wonderful. It's never a warning to say, hey, you know what? The Most High showing me that you need to change your life. If you don't change your life in 3 days' time, in 4 days' time, you're going to die. He's going to punish you. This majority of prophets today and prophecies given today, that's how they are, especially in religion. People get excited when they hear about prophets. They feel good. They rejoice. And yet notice, it doesn't even tell them what not to do when these so-called prophets prophesy. They just simply tell them, oh, you're going to have a house, you're going to have a car. Just believe in the Most High. You don't need to do any of this. You can still live your unclean life, your unright. You know how many pastors and apostles have prophesied in the lives of unbelievers? And what instruction do they give them? Do they tell them to go back to the Most High, keep His commandments and statutes, laws, and precepts? No. They tell them just believe in JC and come to Sunday worship every Sunday. That's it. Nothing about keeping the laws and instruction, the commandments, as we saw with the people of Nineveh. They turned back to Yahuwah. They turned from their wickedness and turned back to Yahuwah. No, let's jump into another scripture. Let's go to another one that I like as well, Barak Yahuwah. And it's in the book of Dabarim, Deuteronomy, Dabarim 13. We're going to start from verse 1. And this is going to go in on false prophets and dreamers of dreams. Now, in this chapter, Yahuwah warns us about these false prophets and these dreamers of dreams. And listen to the instruction given by Yahuwah regarding them, what to look out for. No, Yahuwah says right here, when there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and he shall give you a sign or a wonder. Now listen to this, because this is what people get wrong a lot of the time. Because you see that verse 2 says, and the sign or the wonder shall come true, of which he has spoken to you. Then goes to saying, let us go after other mighty ones which you have not known and serve them. Now this is where a lot of people get things wrong. Because a prophet will come and say to you, oh, you're going to get a house. And then in that timeline where they say you're going to get a house, you do get a house. No, you think to believe, oh, JC did this for you. And that's why I believe in the name. I've heard many people tell me the reason why they believe in the name JC is because they have seen miracles done in that name. They have seen signs and wonders done in that name. And that's why they believe. They show no facts. They show no proof. They just say what the signs and the wonders that they see, that's their proof to believe. But didn't Yahushua told us in the book of Matthew, when the people asked Yahusha to give them a sign, they asked the Messiah, the Messiah, to give them a sign so that they could believe in him and believe in his name. He said, Messiah, show us a sign or a wonder so we may believe in you and believe on you and believe in your name. And what did Yahusha answered and said to them? He said, only a wicked and adulterous nation or a group of people seeks after a sign. The Messiah, when he was on earth, he did not give the people a sign for them to believe in him or believe in his name. He did not give them a sign. So why are we today looking for a sign to believe in the name of JC and not looking at facts? First Thessalonians 5, all the way down to verse 19 and 20, it says, prove what is that good. Prove it. How do you prove something? You get facts, you get evidence. Yahuwah says, at the mouth of two or more witnesses shall a matter be established. So where's the proof? Can you go to court and say to the judge, oh, I have seen signs and wonders, so that's why I believe. That's why I'm not guilty. I see signs and wonders, or this happened. Can you simply say that to a judge and they'll say, okay, you are not guilty, you're free to go? No, the judge needs evidence, witnesses, all these things, an alibi to show that you are innocent. If you don't have evidence, facts, proof, if you don't have witnesses, then guess what? You will be charged guilty. So a lot of persons, when I go to them about the name JC, all they have is signs and wonders. I've seen signs and wonders being done in that name and miracles. No facts, no proof. And they'll say, well, in the KJV, in the King James Bible, that's what I see in the Bible. At the name of JC, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. He has given them a name above all names, and that's the name of JC, the name of JESUS. There's your proof. It's in the Bible. But if you should ask them, all right, let me ask you something then. Ask the English translators who translate the Bible. Ask your pastors who went to theologian school, Bible school, does he has another name, Hebrew name? And any pastor who goes to Bible school who does not agree to this is a liar, because a lot of pastors know this. Everyone that goes to Bible school, they learn this here. They learn that the Messiah has a Hebrew name. Now, the name that they would hear would be Yahshua or Yeshua. A lot of you guys may be familiar with who are new to the truth or who are not in the truth. You would know that name. You would hear that name more popular. Yahshua or Yeshua, Yahushua, and all those, and those are the names. No, why? If you learn that he has an original name, why not teach us his original name? Why do you stick to this so-called English name, which is not really English? It's a Greek name. A Greek name that was changed to Latin, then changed to English, but the pronunciations are similar. If the Messiah is Hebrew and he was given a Hebrew name, then why are we using a Greek, Latin, English name today? So basically, you're saying he's a Greek Messiah. So you're worshiping a Greek Messiah. You're worshiping the Greeks. You're adopting the Greek culture. The Greeks never worship the Messiah. They worship idols. So do you really think the Greeks would translate or give us the correct name? And that name that they give us would be the true name, JESUS. If you should look up their other Greek idol that they worship and serve, ZEUS, it's a very similar name to JESUS. If you should look up the demon of God, the Celtic demon, his name is spelled ESUS. And there are many other demons and mighty ones that you can look up, and their names are very close, similar, almost the same as JESUS, which was IESOUSIESUS, and all of that foolishness. And the only fact that you have is because you see a sign and a wonder. Right here, Yahuwah is saying that prophet or dreamer is going to give a sign or wonder, and that sign or wonder will come to pass. And then they'll say to you, come and let us go and serve other mighty ones whom you have not known. They're going to get you to go against the Most High's commandment because of the sign and wonder that you saw. Now listen to verse 3. Let's continue some more. Verse 3 says, do not listen to the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For Yahuwah your Allah is trying you. He is testing you with these false prophets and dreamers. He is testing you to know whether you love Yahuwah, your Allah, with all your heart and with all your being. So Yahuwah has allowed that false prophet and the false dreamer to come to you and tell you our false prophecy or our false dream. And he allowed it to come to pass. Then those false prophets, they're going to tell you, oh, let us thank JC, let us serve JC, let us accept grace, let us do away with the commandments and the law which is being done today in religion. And he's going to test you to see if you're going to obey what they say because of that sign and wonder, that false sign and wonder, or are you going to say, no, something ain't right, something's not right with it. Like, why would the Most High give us a sign or a wonder to get us to go against it? Like, this is not happening. This is not adding up. That's what the Most High is doing. That's why He allowed it to happen. That's why all these signs and miracles that happen in JC's name is a test to see if you truly love Him or if you just love the signs and the wonders, or if you just love what He does for you. Man. Verse 4 says, walk after Yahuwah your Allah and fear Him and guard His commands. Obey His voice and serve Him and cling to Him. Let me highlight this in blue, like the blue sapphire stuff. Yahuwah says you must walk after Him, fear Him, guard His commandments, and obey His voice and serve Him and cling to Him. Notice it says guard His commandments. Throughout the entire scriptures, you will see this keep coming up a lot of the time. He keep on telling His people, guard His commands, 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 keep His commands, keep His commands. You're going to see this throughout the entire Bible. Even in the so-called New Testament, which it should properly be translated to renewed covenant, not New Testament. That's also another error, another misconception. So throughout the entire Bible, you see keep His commandments, guard His commandments, His commands, obey His voice. But yet religions, Christianity says, don't keep His commandments, don't keep His law. Who are you serving today? Are you serving the Most High? Are you serving your pastors? Are you serving the apostles? Are you serving the Roman Catholic? Because they are the ones who break or broke the Most High commands, who took them out of the Bible, who gave you this conception of grace. Let's continue to read. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams is to be put to death because he has spoken apostasy against Yahuwah your Allah, who brought you out of the land of Mizraim and ransomed you from the house of bondage, to make you stray from the way in which Yahuwah your Allah commanded you to walk. Thus you shall purge the evil from your midst. When your brother, the son of your mother, or your son, or your daughter, or the wife of your bosom, or your friend who is as your own being, entices you secretly, saying, let us go and serve other mighty ones, which you have not known, neither your nor your fathers. He's talking about your forefathers, people like Abraham, Moses, Jeremiah, Isaiah, all these ancient fathers. They did not serve idols, they served Yahuwah. Maybe at first some of them were, but they turned from their idols, their wicked ways, and they turned to Yahuwah. They kept His commandments, they kept His law, they kept His instructions, they kept His Torah, they kept His Shabbats, they kept His feast days. Of the mighty ones, of the people which are all around you, near to you or far off from you, from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. Do not agree with him or listen to him, nor shall your eye pardon him, nor spare him or conceal him. So Yahuwah is saying, do not show pity unto him. Anyone who secretly entices you to go and serve idols or other mighty ones, you do not show pity to them. Yahuwah says, don't you know you should not suffer a witch to live? Barak Yahuwah. But you shall certainly kill him. Your hand is first against him to put him to death, and afterward the hand of all the people. And you shall stone him with stones until he dies, because he sought to entice you away from Yahuwah your allure, who brought you out of the land of Mizraim from the house of bondage. And let all Yasharah hear and fear, and not again do any such evil matter as this in your midst. So this is for a reason, so that the people of Yasharah will fear Yahuwah and they will not do so themselves. And if someone else should come to them with the same thing, they will know what to do. That they should not obey it. Barak Yahuwah. Now let us go to another place in scripture that warns against false prophets. Hallelujah. That's the book of Yahu, which is Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 20 to through to 40. Barak Yahuwah. Or through to the end. Now it reads, the displeasure of Yahuwah shall not turn back until he has done and established the purpose of his heart. In the latter days, you shall understand it perfectly. I did not send these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel, then they would have let my people hear my words, and they would have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their deeds. So true prophets lead people away from wickedness, from breaking the commandments. Prophecy leads people away from defiling the Shabbat by not keeping it and working on it and all this stuff. It keeps people away from using pagan names, false names like God and JC and false titles like the Lord, which is in Hebrew Baal or Baal. So that's what prophecy does. If you're in crime, if you're living an unrighteous life, a wicked life, it's designed to lead you, turn you from the life. It's designed to warn you. If you don't turn from this life, this is what's going to happen to you. Just like we saw with the people of Nineveh. They were warned that the city would be overthrown, destroyed because of their wicked ways. And they fasted and repented, and they turned from their wicked ways and turned back to Yahuwah. And because of that, Yahuwah did not destroy the city. That's prophecy. Not telling people about houses and cars and money. Where do you see that in the Bible? Where do you see prophecies being foretold? Oh, you're going to have houses, you're going to have cars, you're going to have all these things. Do whatever you want to do. Where do you see that? It always comes with instructions, commandments. Always says, keep his commandments. If you obey it, this will happen. Verse 23. I am an allure close by, declares Yahuwah. Not a allure far off. I am a power, a strong authority close by, not a strong authority afar off. If anyone is hidden in secret places, would I not see him? Declares Yahuwah. Do I not fill the heavens and the earth? Declares Yahuwah. I have heard what the prophets have said, who prophesy falsehood in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. Till when shall it be in the heart of the prophets of falsehood, and prophets of the seed of their own heart, who try to make my people forget my name? Why do we keep seeing his name being mentioned in the Bible, people? Don't you question that? Don't you ask why? What is his name? Ask any pastor, is the word God the Most High's name? Or is the word or title, the Lord, the Most High's name? Most pastors know and should know that God and the Lord is not a name but a title. Well, God really and truly is indeed a name, but it's the name of a pagan idol who is control of fortune, or you would say good luck, vanity, money. So they try to make Yahuwah's people forget his name by their dreams, which everyone relates to his neighbor, as their fathers forgot my name for Baal. Now, they say when they translate this from Baal, from Hebrew to English, you have the Lord. And that's a misconception. But this is also, Baal means like master, a term of master. The Lord is a term of master as well. But where Yahuwah's name was, they removed Yahuwah and placed the Lord there. But the Lord means master, and it's the same. It's in the same way. Baal kind of means master as well. The word for master is really Adun, or Adun, which would be Adun, or Adon, like Adonai, my master, Adonai, my master. That's what it means. Baal is a type of term for like uh master, like where you would have servants and all that stuff. So, and remember, Baal was also a pagan idol according to the scriptures, according to the Bible. Now, verse 28 says, the prophet who has a dream, let him relate the dream. And he who has my word, let him speak my word in truth, not in lies. What is the shaft to the wheat, declares Yahuwah? Is not my word like a fire, declares Yahuwah, and like a hammer that shatters a rock? Man, Barak Yahuwah. Also, therefore, see, I am against the prophets, declares Yahuwah, who stole my words, every one from his neighbor. See, I am against the prophets, declares Yahuwah, who use their tongues and say he declares. See, I am against those who prophesy false dreams, declares Yahuwah, and relate them and lead my people astray by their falsehood. And by their reckless boasting, a lot of prophets boast. Man, if you should see these pastors and these apostles, man, most of them boast. They are so cocky and boasting. Like this, the one of the richest pastors in America. I don't remember his name. He's a old guy. He has this weird name. I think it's Bill Graham or Billy Graham or something of the sort. That, but he's the basically one of the richest pastors in America. He's a very old guy, and he says that he doesn't fly commercial. He flies his own private jet and all that stuff, and he doesn't fly on a plane with a bunch of demons and all that stuff. They had a major interview about it. If you should check his network, they can't even show his network. They can show TD Snakes. I'm sorry, TD Jakes. They can show TD Jakes network on Google. They can show Creflo got your dollar, rather Creflo dollar. They can show Creflo's dollars network on the channel Benny Him and all these other people, but this one particular pastor, his network is so large they don't even show it. It's a lot in the millions, like hundreds of millions. TD Jakes, I think he's somewhere in the 50s or 70s thereabout, and the others are low. But this one is in the hundreds, like around over like 300, 400, 500 and up. So they do boast. They're boasted. Just like that pastor, he's cocky, he's boasted. But I myself did not send them, nor have I commanded them. And they do not profit these people at all, declares Yahuwah, because all these so-called prophecies that they're giving you, what profit does that have for you? Yes, you may get a new house, you may get a new car, but at the end of the day, what do you really gain? What do you really have? Because by getting that car and that house, you lose your soul along the way. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and loses his own soul? So these pastors are giving you the whole world, but at the same time, you're losing your soul along the way. It's no profit to you. The only profit that you have is to keep the Most High's commandments so that you may inherit life and inherit the rewards to come, paradise, the tree of life, and all these wonderful things that the scripture talks about, especially in the book of Revelation, the last chapter that we'll be reading as well. And when these people or the prophet or the priest asks you, saying, what is the message of Yahuwah? Then you shall say to them, what message? I shall forsake you, declares Yahuwah. As for the prophet and the priest and the people who say, the message of Yahuwah, I shall punish that man and his house. This is what each one says to his neighbor, and each one to his brother. What has Yahuwah answered? And what has Yahuwah spoken? But the message of Yahuwah you no longer remember. For every man's message is his own word. For you have changed the words of the living Alua, Yahuwah of hosts, our Alua, our power, Allahenu in the Ab. This is what you say to the prophet. What has Yahuwah answered you? And what has Yahuwah spoken? But since you say the message of Yahuwah, therefore thus said Yahuwah, because you say this word, the message of Yahuwah, and I have sent to you, saying, do not say the message of Yahuwah. Therefore see, I surely, I shall utterly forget you and cast you away from my presence, along with the city that I gave you and your fathers. And I shall put an everlasting reproach on you, and an everlasting shame that is not forgotten. Now let's jump to another place in Scripture, Barak Yahuwah. Right after the Ram Yahuwah, we're going to Ezekiel chapter 22. We're going to start from 23, but man, you definitely can read the first verses coming down. Like this ties right in the context of it. But, just for time's sake, I'll not get into it right now. But Barak Yahuwah. We're at Ezekiel 22:23, and here's where Yahuwah spoke or talks about religion. Both religion and especially Christianity. And you're going to see how this ties into religion. This is literally religion he's talking about. The Roman Catholics, the priests, and all that. Christianity, whatever denomination you're from. This is literally religion that Yahuwah is talking about here. Now, verse 23 says, and the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, say to her, you are a land that is not cleansed or rained upon in a day of displeasure. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in her midst, like a roaring lion tearing the prey. They have devoured life, they have taken wealth and precious matters. They have made many widows in their midst. Now, if you remember Revelation, when it talks about the whore, that whore that was sitting on the beach, and the whore has been drunk off her blood. If you listen to how the Roman Catholic, how they speak, if you should type this in, according to the Roman Catholic, who changed the Shabbat from Saturday to Sunday, you'll hear the Roman Catholic write this in their message. They said they changed the Shabbat from Saturday to Sunday. And then the person asks this other question, by whose authority did you change the Shabbat? And the Roman Catholic's response was by hers authority. Her meaning their system, their CHURCH, their assembly, their authority, her. So right here, that her that Yahuwah is talking about is her in religion. That great whore, the Roman Catholics, those Greeks. So verse 26 says, her priests have done violence to my teaching. They have profaned my separated matters, or Kadash matters. They have not distinguished between the Kadash, the separated, and profane, nor have they made known the difference between the unclean and the clean. And they have hidden their eyes from my Shabbats, and I am profaned in their midst. Now, look at it today, as I just said, regarding the Roman Catholics and most of religion, and especially Christianity. Don't you see this? Don't you see that they're priests? The priest is talking about another word for this is pastors, shepherds. Plus, also, the word CHURCH, that word is from a Greek mighty one's name, who is a demoness, and her full name, her true name is KIRKE. It's a her. So when it says her priest, remember most assemblies they go by the name CH of God, CH of CHRIST, CH of this, CH of that. We are a CH. Oh, let's go to the CH on Sunday. Let's go to the CH on even so-called on even the Shabbat. And those are like the Seventh-day Adventists. But they still have it all wrong. Even though the Seventh-day Adventists, are keeping the Shabbat, they know that the Messiah's complexion and how he looks is not white, that white image is Cesar Borgia, who is one of the Pope's son. Even though they know these things, they still use a false name. They still don't keep the feast days. And they still call themselves a CHURCH, which is from a Greek mighty one. So when Yahuwah is saying her priests, her pastors, her apostles, her bishops have done violence to my teaching, which is true, which is what's happening today. They have not been able to tell the difference between unclean and clean. Like when they misread or purposely tells us that Acts 10, where Peter got the dream about the unclean animals, means that we can eat pork and all this stuff. And some other scriptures that they will go to, First Corinthians, Second Timothy, and all these scriptures, they are telling you it's okay to eat unclean animals when it's not okay. And that's what Yahuwah is saying. They cannot tell the difference between unclean and clean. They have hidden their eyes from his Shabbats. They don't want to keep his Shabbats. Oh, that's done away with. Yahuwah says you should be no respecter of deists. T.D. Snake said that. He worships on the Shabbat. He worships Sunday. He worships Monday. He worships every day of the week. The Bible says you should be no respecter of deists. But the scripture says you are supposed to respect a certain day, honor this day, remember this day, to keep it Kadash, separated from all the other days. This day is more special to you. But the thing is, they don't understand what that scripture is saying because they don't read it in its proper context. And plus, you cannot use one day to nullify multiple evidence, multiple witnesses. You cannot use one witness against 10. If a judge has two persons in front of him, one has 10 witnesses and another only has one witness. This one with the 10 witnesses all agree that he was here and doing this at that time. This one person with his one witness said that he was here at that time. Who do you think the judge is going to lean more to? The one with multiple witnesses. So you decide. Verse 27, her leaders, here it is, her leaders in her midst are like wolves fearing the prey, to shed blood, to destroy lives, and to get greedy gain. They love that tithe money. Yet, and here's another thing, they say the law is done away with, the instruction, the Torah is done away with, but yet majority of pastors collect tithing. When tithing was for the Levite priests, and it was a part of the Torah. Why I said was because tithing is no more today. Tithing should not be done or not be collected. Plus, tithing was never about money. It was about food given to the Levite priests. It was never about money. So tithing, yes, is done away with. Why? Because we have no more Levite priests. We don't need it anymore. Why? Because the Messiah has become our ultimate priest. But I'm just showing you guys that even though they say the law is done away with, the commandments are done away with, they still want you to pay them tithe. They'll go to the Old Testament and show you scriptures regarding that, but anything else they will not show you. No other instruction from the commandment except the tithe, except that greedy gain. And her prophets have coated them with whitewash. Just as I said, whitewash. They whitewash the image of the Messiah. According to Daniel and according to Revelation, both testimonies said that his feet and hands were like they were burnt in a furnace. And when something is burnt, it gives a dark complexion. His hair was white like wool. But today they gave us a white man with long curly hair. They whitewashed our truth, our heritage. They made our people also a white race. Those Ashkenazi false Jewish people that you see down there. So they have whitewashed our truth. Seeing a false vision and divining a lie from them, a lie for them rather, saying, thus said the Master Yahuwah, when Yahuwah had not spoken. The people of the land have practiced oppression and committed robbery, and have wronged the poor and the needy, and they oppress the stranger without right ruling. As I said, that tithe money that should not be done. Tithe is about food. If they were collecting food to like give to the poor, fine, I have no problem with that. But as I said, tithing is not done anymore, and tithing was never about money. Even Creflo Dollar stepped away from tithing. Why? Because he wants to push grace theory. And he knows if he's pushing grace theory, then he cannot push tithe because tithe is a part of the Torah, the commandments. Grace is saying don't keep the Torah, the commandments. So how can you say no law, no commandments, but yet you're saying tithe, which is a part of the law commandments? So if you're saying tithe, then guess what? You're saying law commandments. Well, you're saying one law, one commandment. Plus, when they say to us, oh, put money here in this basket. One is for offerings and tithes, and the other basket is for helping hands or to sow to the community, to the needy, and to the orphans and all these people. How many times have you seen your assembly go visit an orphanage or a homeless shelter and give to the poor and the needy? If you should calculate, find out how many members your assembly has. Calculate the amount of offering. Let's say your assembly has here in Jamaica, the largest assembly that we have in Jamaica. Because I know in the States, in the United States, you guys have mega assemblies, mega CHs, where you have 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 members. The biggest assembly that we have here in Jamaica, though, is the Power of Faith Assembly. I think they say also this assembly is the biggest assembly in the Caribbean. Power of Faith Assemblies in Kingston. That's the headquarters. They have over 5,000 members. Now let's work with number five. Let's say your assembly has 5,000 members. If you should calculate $100, if each person, if each 5,000 members, each 5,000 members give $100, calculate the amount, the total of that 100 times 5,000 and tell me the figure and see the figure. Plus, that's just for the week. Because remember, every Sunday they go to assembly. Every Sunday they collect tithes and offering. Because some people get paid here, some get paid there. And I'm just talking about the $100 for offering. Well, you guys are in the States, so the $100 I'm saying is would be in Jamaica. So for the state, let's calculate. Let's do $10 per 5,000 members, and do the maths and tell me the figure that you come up with. No, that's just for the week. That's not even the tithes yet. We're not even going to the tithes. We're not even going to the helping hands. Plus, remember that all CHs that are in religion that have been established or permitted under the government by the 501c3. 501c3 is a tax exemption form, which means anyone who has that is a legitimate assembly, and they do not pay tax. So whatever they purchase or buy, they won't pay tax. So when we would pay our light bill or water bill or phone bills or internet bills, when we would buy groceries and we would pay tax with it, those with those 501c3, they do not pay tax. So they spend a lot less than we do. Even the light and their water is a lot less than ours. So many will say, well, sorry, that's for the light and the water bill and the food and all that stuff. As I said, check, do the math. That's just for the week, and that's only for offering. And some people they give more than $10. Some people, remember, some people are very wealthy, so they will give like $1,000 maybe per week, $500 plus. We got big celebrities that are paying tithes, and they make huge money. So one person alone may be putting $100 per month, $100,000, rather, $10,000 US per month, $100,000 US per month. That's why these pastors' net worth are in the millions. No, you have millions. Your light bill is not in the millions. Your water bill is not in the millions. Your internet bill. There's no way, even though they have 10,000 members, there's no way none of you can come to me and tell me that the light bill is in the millions. What do they do with those millions? And yet there are so many needy orphans and homeless people in their communities. Even their members, even you as a members are in need. Do you receive help from them? Yes, every now and then, but I mean, look at the maths, do the maths. That's robbery. They're committed robbery to you. They are wronging the poor and the needy, oppressing the strangers without right ruling. That's what Yahuwah is trying to show you guys. That's what these pastors and these assemblies, religion is doing to you. Religion is robbing you, it's keeping you in bondage. But we fail to see it's because we don't want to let go of that false name. Verse 30. I sought for a man among them who would make a wall and stand in the breach for me on behalf of the land, that I should not destroy it, just like he did with Jonah, to go and prophesy. And then the people started to repent. The king made a decree not to eat or drink, to fast, and to turn from their wicked ways. That's what Yahuwah was looking for. And he saw that within it. No, with the Roman Catholic, can he find that? In religion, can he find that? Let's see. But he said, but I did not find one in the Roman Catholic, in religion. Therefore, I have poured out my displeasure on them. I have consumed them with fire of my wrath, and I have put their way on their own head, declares the Master Yahuwah. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Hallelujah. So let's go to another place that talks about the lawless one, false signs and wonders and all these things that these people, so look for, and they don't understand who these signs and wonders are from. No, not First Thessalonians, rather, but Second Thessalonians. Sorry about that. Second Thessalonians chapter 2. Let's go from verse 3. No, verse 3 says, Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3 says, let no one deceive you in any way, because the falling away is to come first, and the man of lawlessness is to be revealed, the son of destruction. Now listen to what this man does, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called Yahuwah, or that is worshipped, so that he sits as a lure in the dwelling place of Yahuwah, showing himself that he is Yahuwah. Remember, Acts chapter 7, verse 49 to 52 says that Yahuwah does not dwell in temples made with man's hands. And if you read Corinthians, you get the understanding. Acts 2, Yahuwah's rule, his spirit, he now dwells within us through the Ruach Hadash, his called out separated spirit. So Yahuwah dwells within us. And that's where Hashatan is trying to dwell today. Remember, Hashatan is the power. He's the king of this world who has blinded the minds of the unbelievers. He's sitting in their minds and their hearts. That's why they won't believe the truth. That's why they think it's okay to do away with the commandments, because Hashatan is sitting in their minds, not Yahuwah. 1 John 2, verse 3 to 4 says, he who says, I know him, and keeps not his commandment is a liar, and the truth is not in him. So if any pastor, any leader, any apostle, any bishop is out there and not teaching people to keep Yahuwah's commandment, you are a liar, according to the Bible. Don't stone me. Read the Bible for yourself. If you're not teaching about the Most High's commandment to keep his Shabbats, keep his feast days, and all the instructions, you are a liar, and the truth is not in you. No, verse 5 goes on to say, do you not remember that I told you this while I was still with you? And now you know what restrains from him to be revealed in his time. For the secret of lawlessness is already at work. See, they're trying to hide it from you. Only until he who now restrains comes out of the midst. And the lawless one shall be revealed, whom the master shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and bring to naught with the manifestation of his coming. The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Satan, Hashatan, with all power and signs and wonders of falsehood. Another word for wonders is miracle, with all sign, with all power, signs, and miracles of falsehood, of a lie. And with all deceit of unrighteousness in those perishing. Why? Because they did not receive the love of the truth, in order for them to be delivered. And for this reason, Yahuwah sends them a strong delusion, or a working of delusion, for them to believe the falsehood. That's why no matter what evidence facts you show some of these people, they will not believe you. You're just wasting your time. In order that all should be judged who did not believe the truth, but they had pleasure in unrighteousness, or they had delight in the unrighteousness. They enjoyed it. Man, Barak Yahuwah. Let's jump to the final book, chapter 13, Revelation, chapter 13, and read from verse 11, Barak Yahuwah. Now, verse 11 says, And I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spoke like a dragon. He had two horns like a lamb. He's kind of looking like a lamb, but he spoke like a dragon. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he did, and he does great signs, so that he makes fire come down from the heaven on the earth before males or people. And he leads astray those dwelling on the earth because of those signs which he was given to do before the beast, saying to those dwelling on the earth to make an image to the beast, who was wounded by the sword yet lived. Which, remember, Yahuwah says, do not make an image. And there was given to him to give spirit to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause to be killed as many who would not worship the image of the beast. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark upon their right hand and upon their foreheads. Hand means work. If you should study the Abrit, which I'm going to do videos on it, I've already started. You're going to see that when it gets to the Yod or the Yad, one of the meanings for the Yad, the hand, is work. So it's by your works. Yahuwah is going to reward every man according to their works. So he gives them a mark upon their works. By your works, it shows who you are if you're off the beast. So if you work on Sunday, you don't keep if you work on Shabbat, if you don't keep Sunday as the Shabbat, then they can tell the beast system, those in the system, they can tell who have the mark of the beast. Or upon their foreheads in their minds. Remember, Hashatan is sitting in the minds and the hearts of the people there. And that no one should be able to buy or to sell except he that has the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, the number of his name, the number of the letters of his name. Here is the wisdom. He who has understanding, let him calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, if you should go to the Sefer, it has the Greek letterings. And if you should research it and break it down, it leads right back to JHC. JESUS. H, a lot of people today doesn't know that JC has a middle name, much less a middle letter, and what it stands for. Now, some do know that his full name would be JESUSHCHRIST, but they don't know what the H stands for. I've encountered a few people that know this, but when I ask them, well, I'm glad that you know, but can you tell me what does the H stand for? They say they don't know. So how can you say you have a relationship with the Messiah? You know him like that, but you don't even know his name. You don't even know what his middle initial means. Now, if you should break this down, you're going to see that that ties right into JHC, which was before in the Greek, chi z stigma. Chi z stigma. Do your research and you'll see what that means. Barak Yahuwah. Study to show yourself approved unto Yah. No, the reason why many people are excited about prophecy is because of the prosperity, the blessings, and all these things that they try to say. They want the blessings of Abraham, but they don't want to do what Abraham did, or as its proper pronunciation is, Abraham. They want the so called blessings, which is not blessings. The Arabic word is baraka, which means gift. The word barak means to kneel, to respect, to kneel to the head of the house. The word baraka means gift. It does not mean bless or blessed or blessing. Blessing means to sprinkle blood on a pagan altar. So blessed is a pagan term. So a lot of people, because they are so about the vanity, the prosperities, they will be excited when they hear prophecy because they want to hear about the house, they want to hear about the car, they want to hear about them getting a husband or a wife and children and all this stuff, but they don't want to do what the Most High commands. Abraham, he kept the Most High's commandments. He did what he commands. And that's how he was Baruch. That's how he got the gifts from Yahuwah, as they would falsely say the blessings. That's how he inherited the gifts, the promises from Yahuwah. He inherited rewards on earth because he obeyed the commands of Yahuwah. He kept the Shabbat, he kept the feast days, he did not eat unclean animals and all this stuff, and he was rewarded for his works. So if you want to receive these rewards, the promises of Abraham, well, you got to do what Abraham did, obey Yahuwah. The apostles did the same thing. But yet today, we're not doing what the apostles did. Many are just doing what they want with grace. And then yet they are wondering, why am I not the head? Why am I the tail? Why are these curses happening to me? Why do my life feels like it's upside down? Why am I having trouble with my children, with my husband, with my marriage? Everything is failing for them. Yes, at one point it may seem as all is good, but then after a while it starts to crash and go into disorder. Have you ever wondered why all these things are happening? Let us jump to a few more scriptures, then we'll close out. Now let us go to the book of CHUH, which is Exodus 23, and let us go to Barak Yahuwah. Let's go to verse 20 and read what Yahuwah says. Now Yahuwah says right here in Exodus 23, verse 20, see, I am sending a messenger before you to guard you in the way and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Be on guard before him, obey his voice, and do not rebel against him. For he is not going to pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. If you should look at what transgression is, what is crime, I did a video regarding what is crime, what is transgression. Crime is the transgression of the law, the Torah, or SIN. So go watch that video, what is SIN, what is crime, and you will understand more why do we have to repent each time. Why do we need to ask for forgiveness? Because if the law is done away with, then that means we don't need to repent anymore. And I've asked you pastors that, and they say, well, no, the Ten Commandments still stand. Then I'm like, if the Ten Commandments still stand, then why are you worshiping on Sunday, the first day of the week, and not the Shabbat, not the seventh day of the week? Well, we don't know when the Shabbat truly is, or that's for the Jewish people. So which is it? Does it stand? Is it for you? Is the Ten Commandments for us, or is it for the Jewish people? Because I don't get it. The Ten Commandments has the Shabbat, but yet we're not keeping it, and it still stands. Do you see the nonsense? Do you see the confusion behind this? Don't you see that it doesn't adds up? How can you say we are supposed to keep the Ten Commandments, but we're not doing all of the Ten Commandments? Plus, in the book of James, James told us if you break one of the commandments, you are guilty of all. So you got to keep all the commandments. So which one is it? Are we not supposed to keep it? Or are we supposed to keep it? I've heard Creflo Dollar said in one of his videos that if you truly want to keep grace, you're not supposed to keep the commandments, including the 10 commandments. He said that. There should be a bell going off in your head. There should be a red flag, a red light, a buzzer, an alarm. Warning, warning, overload, wrong. By thus that same, but yet thousands of his followers still sat, still clapped him, and still are with him today, even though he told them not to keep the 10 commandments. And you don't see anything wrong with that? You don't see that as being lawless? What is the instruction? What is Torah? What does Torah mean? Torah means instruction. As I said, just like a fan or a phone or a laptop, tablet, a car, or fridge, everything that was created came, or that was invented, came with a manual, a little book that explains the item, that tells you what to do, what not to do, and all that stuff. So it is with our lives. When Yahuwah created us and made us, He gave us a manual. And in that manual, which is His word, the instructions, the Torah, are the things that we are supposed to do and the things that we are not supposed to do. No, if you obey the manual, then guess what? Your product, the item, will last long. You will not destroy that item or product. But if you should disobey any instructions given not to do in the manual, let's say a fridge, they say at the back of the fridge, do not pour water on it, or do not plug the cord, or do not do this, or else it will cause damage. And you disobey, you do exactly what they told you not to do. What would happen? Just like what Yahuwah warned Adam not to do. You would have been destroyed. You would destroy the fridge. No, they say with a phone or a laptop or any other electronic device, do not use around water or do not pour water over it, or else there can be a short circuit. You pour water on it, what's going to happen to that phone? Or if that phone or water or that laptop just fell in some water, that's going to destroy the phone. It's the same thing today. The Most High gave us instructions for us to know what to do so that we don't destroy ourselves. But here we are doing the things that Yahuwah told us not to do. Don't eat pork, we eat pork. Don't worship idols, we worship idols. Don't make any graven image. Don't make an image of me. Don't make an image of anything. Today we make images of everything. And we don't see nothing wrong with all of this. You know why? For some of us, or most of us, not all of us, because some of us are asking, some of us do see something wrong with it. And we're searching and we're asking the Most High, but for majority of people, the reason why you don't see anything wrong with it is because you enjoy it. You love living unrighteous. You love doing your own thing. You love being lawless. And for that reason, Yahuwah has sent you a strong delusion that you continue to believe that lie and that falsehood so that you can be judged. So you are going to be judged. So no worries. Your time will come. But for those who are truly seeking the truth, truly trying to understand, trying to serve the Most High is trying to show you to come back to Him, to be obedient to Him, to obey Him, so that you may live, and not just live on this earth, but live even after you die. Live in paradise. Live in perfect calmness, perfect shalom, where there will be no more tears, no more crying, no more pain, no more evil, no more devils. Our devils are demons. It will be a perfect life. That's what the Most High is trying to show you. Come back to Him so that you can put your name and be registered for that new life. Don't be like those heathens who say, all right, we'll do whatever. We're going to enjoy ourselves, live our best life. No, this is not our best life. Our best life is to come, but you got to live properly so that you can live your best life to come. And by living properly is by obeying Yahuwah and His commands. He said, if he says keep the seventh day special, you keep it special. If he says do not eat pork, then you do not eat pork. If he says don't do this, then you don't do it. If he says look after the orphans, the widows, and the fathers, then you do so. Even that in the commandments, in the instruction, Yahuwah told us pure and un pure and undefiled religion is this, even though the true word is not religion, but observation, observance rather. The proper word would be observance. But they put it in the King James. Pure and undefiled religion is this, that you do unto the widows and the orphans. What are we doing to the widows and the orphans? As I said, the millions that these assemblies are making, they should be going to orphanage and shelters every month with food and clothing. But we don't see that. We don't see it. And you don't ask why. In Acts 2 and Acts 4, we saw the apostles looking out for each other. The apostles and the disciples, they all came together. The brothers and the sisters who were of Yahusha, those who follow Yahusha, the apostles, disciples, everyone who followed Yahusha, they all came together. Those who were wealthy, they will sell. If they had extra houses or boats or land or whatever it is that they would have, they would sell a lot of these things and bring the money to the feet of the apostles. And the apostles would distribute the money to all those who had need. Those who needed a house, those who needed some clothes, some food. They would go to orphanages. They would find orphans and give to them, give to the poor. That's what the apostles did in their time. Why are we not doing it today? We do it maybe once a year or twice or three times. We should be doing this every time we get. Why are we not doing that? But yet we say we love the Most High and we love each other. But yet you don't correct a brother, correct a sister. That's not love. Love is correction. So, Yahuwah says if you obey, listen verse 22. But if you diligently obey his voice and shall do all that speed, then I shall be an enemy to your enemies, a distresser to those who distress you. If you diligently obey his voice, then he shall be an enemy to your enemies. Have you ever wondered why sometimes you're there, you're praying, you're calling on JC, the blood of JC, and nothing's happening? Demon is still there mocking you, spitting on all the stuff. And then the demon comes on, then you think it's all good by next week or the other week, it's happening again and you don't wonder why? Because you're not diligently obeying his voice. That's why. Verse 23. For my messenger shall go before you and shall bring you into the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I shall cut them off. Do not bow down to their mighty ones, nor serve them, nor do according to their works. But without fail overthrow them, and without fail break down their pillars. And you shall serve Yahuwah your Allah, and you shall barak, and he shall barak your bread. Show respect, favor to your bread, and your water. And I shall remove sickness from your midst. How many sick Scythians do you know? Extrians do you know? How many in religion do you know are sick? Have a sickness for months, years, and cannot get better. But yet they fast, they pray, they live a righteous life, as they would say. They go to CH every Sunday, they go to Bible studies and all that stuff, but yet they are still sick as a dog. I've seen that multiple times in CI. Many persons sick for months, years. I've been in for CI for 2 years, and I've seen persons sick for the entire 2 years. No matter how much the pastors would pray, that person still is sick to this day. Because we're not doing what the Most High is saying. I've seen this multiple places in different assemblies that I've gone. I've seen persons who are possessed being on the prayer team praying, and she's so obviously possessed, like even an unbeliever could see this. And I'm like, how does the pastor not see this? That this young lady is possessed. But yet you have her on the prayer team praying for our visiting pastor. I've seen these things in the end. And these things make me question religion. If we are doing what the Mosai says, then why has the Mosai not taken away sickness from us? Then when I read somewhere, it shows we're not doing what the Mosai says. We're doing what we think, what we want. We're doing what the devil says. We're doing what the devil tells us to do. Even though that's hard to hear, not hard to accept, but it's the truth. Because the devil wants you not to keep the commandments. The devil wants you not to keep the instruction of the Torah. Why? Because he wants you to serve him and not Yahuwah. If Yahuwah says go up, the devil is going to say go down. If Yahuwah says keep the seventh day, the devil is going to say to keep the first day or any other day. If Yahuwah says, the Mosai says don't eat pork, the devil is going to say eat pork. Don't you see the difference? Whatever Yahuwah, the Mosai says, the devil tells you to do the opposite of. Yahuwah says paint in white, the devil says paint in black. Yahuwah says go forward, the devil says go backwards. He does the opposites of what Yahuwah commands. And that's what we're doing today. We're doing the opposite of the commandments of Yahuwah. Now, would Yahuwah go against his word? Nah. He would not break his commandments. He would not go against his own word. If you would read the scriptures, you would see that and you would know it. But you don't. You take the pastor's word for it. And Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in Yahuwah, not in your pastor, not in your bishop, not in your apostle. Trust in Yahuwah, trust in the Most High. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. But yet we don't do that. We trust our pastors. We trust our own selves. And that's why we run into so much situations, sickness, problem, money trouble, all these kind of trouble, because we're not doing what the Most High commanded us to do. Verse 26, none shall miscarry or be burdened in your land. I shall fill the number in your days. How many insanity do we see having miscarriages? How many having miscarriage and reaching very close to giving birth and lose the baby? Or they try multiple times, and every time they try to have a baby, miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage. But here Yahuwah is saying you will have no miscarriage if you obey his voice. But many are barren right now. Sometimes the reason why Yahuwah, like this is another thing as well, regarding the orphans, the fatherless, he says to do good unto them. Now, giving food is not enough for an orphan. The reason for orphanage is for a loving couple or parent to come in and adopt that orphan. That's doing good for that orphan. Raising that orphan in a structured home, family, those surrounded by him who truly love him or her. How many we have in Christianity that are barren, that the Most High probably wants them to go and adopt a child, but yet they don't, because they cannot hear the Most High's voice. They don't know these things because their pastors do not teach this. How many orphans are out there right now, desperate for a home? Maybe you go and have that child, and that child grows up to be a murderer, wicked, rebellious to you, tries to kill you. Matthew 10 and Matthew 24, that's why it says the children are going to be disobedient to parents. They're going to kill them. They're going to give them up. So you may want to have your own child. When that your own child probably comes up, grow up to be evil, wicked. But that orphan will grow up to love you and to honor you and to respect you and to love the Most High. But we don't think about this because we're after our own gain. We're doing our own ways. Verse 27, I shall send my fear before you and cause confusion among all the people to whom you come, and make all your enemies turn their backs to you. And I shall send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hittites, the Canaanites, the Hittites from before you. I shall not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become a waste and the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. Little by little shall I drive them out from before you until you have increased and you inherit the land. And I shall place your border from the sea of reeds to the sea of the Philistines, and from the wilderness to the river. For I shall give the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out from before you. Do not make a covenant with them, nor with their mighty ones. Let them not dwell in your land, lest they make you commit a crime against me when you serve their mighty ones, when it becomes a snare to you. Barak Yahuwah. That's Exodus 23, 20 to the end. Let's go to another place that gives more clue as to what is happening today and why it's happening. That's in the book of Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is one of the books that gives huge proof to who the Most High's people is today. Huge proof. Because his people shall be identified by the signs, the curses, the curses and the signs that are going to follow them today, to this day. The curses shall be a sign, but we don't even look at who the curses are affecting today. So verse 1, so if you truly want to be favored by the Most High, if you truly want to be, as you would say, blessed and highly favored, you got to do as he said. If you're not doing as he says, then you are not blessed and highly favored. You are just under his grace. He's just giving you time to repent. But if you don't repent, then your time is going to come to an end. And after the end, you're going to the pit to be punished. Then after that, you're going to be judged on the day of judgment. Then you're going to be thrown into the lake of fire. You will not be in paradise. You will not inherit everlasting life. You'll be in the lake of fire in torment forever. So if you truly want to be blessed and highly favored and any of that stuff, you got to be obedient to the Most High. If you're not obedient, then you're not blessed and highly favored. So if you truly want to be gifted by the Most High, receive gifts, receive reward, you got to be obedient to his command. Do as he says. Deuteronomy 28 verse 1, let's read it to verse 14. And it shall be if you diligently, see this word again, go look at what it means. Diligently obey the voice of Yahuwah your Allah, to guard to do all his commands which I command you today, that Yahuwah your Allah shall place you high above all nations of the earth. And all these barakah, gifts, shall come upon you and overtake you, if you obey the voice of Yahuwah your Allah. If, Baruch, blessed are you in the city, and Baruch are you in the field. They put blessed, but again, blessed is a pagan term, which means to sprinkle blood on a pagan altar. So, favored, respected are you. Proper word would be respected. Respected are you in the city, respected are you in the field. Respected is the fruit of your body, the fruit of your ground, and the fruit of your livestock, the increase of your cattle, and the offspring of your flocks. Respected is your basket and your kneading bowl. Respected are you when you come in, and respected are you when you go out. Yahuwah causes your enemies who rise against you to be smitten before your face. They come out against you in one way, flee before you 7 ways. Yahuwah commands the barakah, the gifts, on you in your storehouses, and in all to which you place your hand shall shall barak you in the land which Yahuwah shall respect you in the land which Yahuwah your Allah is giving you. Yahuwah does establish you as Kadash, separated, as a separated people to himself, separated from the world. The world worship pagan idols. They celebrate pagan feast days and traditions. They keep feasts like Halloween, Xmas, and Easter. Yahuwah's people, they do not keep those things. They do not do those stuff. The world keeps Sunday. Yahuwah's keep, which is the first day of the week. Yahuwah's people keep Shabbat, which is the 7th day of the week. As he has sworn to you, if you guard his command. If you guard the commands of Yahuwah your Allah, and walk in his ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that the name of Yahuwah is called upon you, and they shall be afraid of you. And Yahuwah shall make you to have plenty of what is good, in the fruit of your body, in the fruit of your livestock, and in the fruit of your ground, and in the land of which Yahuwah swore to your fathers to give. Yahuwah opens to you his good treasure, the heavens, to give the rain to your land in the season, and to respect to Barak all the work of your hand. And you shall lend to many nations, for you do not borrow. And Yahuwah shall make you the head and not the tail. And you shall be only on top, but and not beneath, if you obey the commands of Yahuwah your Allah, which I command you today to guard and do not turn aside from any of the words which I am commanding you today, right or to the left, to go after other mighty ones to serve them. So if you obey Yahuwah, then all these things will happen to you. But verse 15 says, and it shall be if you do not obey the voice of Yahuwah, your Allah, to guard to do all his commands and his laws, which I command you today, then all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Cursed are you in the cities, cursed are you in the field. Curses your basket, curses your needleboard, curses the fruit, cursed are you when you come in, cursed are you when you go out. Yahuwah sends on you the curse, the confusion, the rebuke in all that you place your hand to do until you are destroyed, until you perish quickly because of the evil of your doings by which you have forsaken me. So you see why it's so confusing today? Because we do not do what he says. You can read this all the way to the end. All the way to the end. He has 68 verses. You can read all verses to the end, and then you will put together who today, which race, which people today does these curses fit? Do these fit those Ashkenazi Jews pretending to be the Jewish Hebrew people? That's why they say they are Jewish. They're kind of Jews. They're trying to be Jews, but they are not. If you should read all of these, it only fits a group of people, a certain nation, race group of people, especially the last verse or the few verse. So the last verse says, 68, and Yahuwah shall bring you back to Mizraim, bondage, Egypt, in ships, by a way of which I said to you, you are never to see it again. And there shall you be sold to your enemies as male and female slaves, but no one to buy, no one to deliver you, no one to rescue. So you're going to become slaves. Now, who has we seen as slaves today? Do the research. History shows proof to who this people is. History shows proof even today is still happening. History shows proof, facts to who the curse is tied to today. You don't need any man to tell you. You have the scriptures. Final script that we're getting into. We're going back to the last book of the Bible, the book of Revelation. So if the laws, the statutes, commandments of Yahuwah are done away with, then explain to me why the commands of Yahuwah is mentioned in the book of Revelation. You don't know what I'm talking about? Let's read. Last book of the Bible, last chapter, verse 1. Revelation 22, verse 1. And he showed me a river of water of life, clear as crystal, coming from the throne of Yahuwah and of the Lamb. In the midst of his street, Barak Yahuwah, on either side of the river, on either side of the river was the tree of life, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. You will never be without food, never in the day to come. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Now listen this. And no longer shall there be any curse. And the throne of Yahuwah and of the Lamb shall be in it. And his servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be upon their foreheads. Now, if he has an original name, that name will never be JC. Good luck, XGMs, Sethians. That will never be that religion, that belief system. That will never be the Muslims. That will never be the whatever religion you are for. You are off unless you return to who we truly are, which is of Yahuwah, of the Nazarene. Nazarene is those who are from or follow the one who is from Nazareth. You are Nazarite, Nazarene, of the branches. And night shall be no more, and they shall have no need of lamp or the light of the sun, because Yahuwah shall give them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. And he said to me, these words are trustworthy and true. And Yahuwah Allah of the Kadash prophets, the separated prophets, has sent his messenger to show his servants what has to take place with speed. See, I am coming speedily. Respected Baruch is he who guards the words of this prophecy, of the prophecy of this book. And I, Yehuanan, saw and heard these matters. And when I heard and saw, I fell down to worship before the feet of the messenger who showed me these matters. And he said to me, see, do not, for I am your fellow servant, and of your brothers the prophets, and of those who are guarding the words of this book. Worship Yahuwah, don't worship me. I'm a regular messenger. That's what he's saying. And he said to me, do not seal the words of the prophecy of this book, because the time is near. The time is near. He who does wrong, let him do more wrong. He who is filthy, let him be filthy. He who is righteous, let him be more righteous. He who is Kadash, let him be more Kadash, or separated. And see, I am coming speedily, and my reward is with me, to give to each according to his work. Remember the hand, mark upon the hand, work. I am the Aleph, I am the Al and the Ta, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Respected, Baruch are those doing his commands. If his commands are done away with, then how can they do it? He says, the respected are Baruch are those doing his commands. If his commands are done away with, Creflo got your dollar, Creflo dollar, TD Jakes, and all those other false pastors and prophets. If his commands are done away with and we're not supposed to keep them or do it, then how can we be Baruch? So that the authority shall be theirs unto the tree of life, and to enter through the gates into the city. But outside are the dogs. Dogs are impure persons, people. And those who enchant with drugs, pharmakia, pharmacy. And those who whore, and murderers, and they are idolaters who worship idols, and all who love and do falsehood. I, Yahusha, have sent my messenger to witness to you these matters in the assemblies. I am the root and the offspring of Daoud, David, the bright and the morning star. And the spirit and the bride says, come. And he who hears, let him say, come. And he who thirsts, comes. And he who desires it, take the water of life without pain. For I witness to everyone hearing the words of the prophecy of this book. If anyone adds to them, Yahuwah shall add to them the plagues that are in this book. And if anyone takes away from the words of this book, of this prophecy, Yahuwah shall take away his part from the book of life, and out of the separated Kadash city, which is the new Yerushalayim, which are written in this book. So if you add or take away from this word, this is what's going to happen to you. And that's what we see today. Pastors are adding and taking away from his word without fear. He that bears witness of these matters Matter says, yes, I am coming speedily. Aman, yes, come, Master Yahusha. The favor of our Master Yahusha, Hamashiach, Messiah, the Anointed One, be with the Kadashim, the separated, the called out one. Aman. Rumam, Mu Yahuwah. So now, do you see the misconception that they have done to us to give us this falsehood of what prophecy is? Prophecy is never about vanity, never about telling you about getting money or house, cars, lands, and all that stuff. Prophecy was about leading you back to Yahuwah and keeping you in line, keeping you from going astray, encouraging you to stay in Yahuwah. So if you're wicked, prophecy leads you to be not wicked. If you're righteous, prophecy helps you to stay righteous. But that's not what they told us prophecy is. That's not what we saw. So, that being said, that's the end of what I have today for this lesson, Barak Yahuwah Yahusha. If you choose to continue to live that life of falsehood, of wickedness, of evil, that's on you. If you choose to be wicked, if you choose to take away from the word, add to the word, if you choose not to believe the word and believe your pastors, your bishops, your apostles, that's on you. You cannot say you weren't warned. That's also what prophecy does. It warns. If you listen, then you escape his wrath, his punishment. But if you don't listen, then you will not escape his wrath, his punishment. And we hear the things to come. So I'm repeating this prophecy by reading the book. So the choice is yours. I'm looking for the sheep because Yahuwah says the sheep hear his voice and they know him and they follow him. I'm not looking for goats. I'm not looking for wolves. I'm looking for sheep, the lost sheep of the tribe of Yasharal, those who are willing to obey the Most High, those who are willing to put the Most High first and not themselves, not anyone else but the Most High, to be obedient to the Most High. That's what I'm looking for. The wolves and the goats, they will be warned. But we already know goats are very stubborn. Goats are stubborn and rebellious. They don't listen. Sheep listen, they obey. Goats do not listen, they do not obey. So I won't waste time with a goat because he won't listen, he won't obey. So I'll just warn a goat and move on. Shake up the dust and move on. Wolves are also warned, and they know their punishments. They were in the Kadash. These are these serpents, these spirits that are operating as wolves, hearing the prey. They know their punishment is coming. So they need no warnings. They already know. But I'm warning the goats. But I'm also looking for the sheep, going after the sheep, to help the sheep, to bring them back to the shepherd, that good shepherd, which is Yahuwah Yahusha, the Most High, the creator of the heaven and earth. So, to those who are sheep, those who are truly seeking to please the Most High, seek the Most High, and you shall find. Knock, and the doors will be open unto you. Seek the Most High with all your heart, and He will respond to you. You will find it. You got to give it your all if you truly want to know more of the truth. If you truly want to serve the Most High and please Him, you got to give it your all, not a half of you. Why? Because the Shama says, Deuteronomy 6:49, Hear, O Yasharal, Yahuwah your power, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah our power is one. And you shall love Yahuwah, our power, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Not some of you, all. Give him everything you have. The first commandment says to love Yahuwah with all your heart. Second commandment says, please do not bring before his face any mighty one of power. Do not bring a false idol before his face. So if you love him, John 14:15, he says, if you love him, keep his commandments. If you want to show proof that you love the Most High, keep his commandments. That's it. Barak Yahuwah Yahusha. This is Watchman Uzar Yahu, and I'm signing out on behalf of Yahuwah's chosen people assembly, Our email will be in the descriptions for any questions regarding any studies or anything that you want me to go over to better understand. You can email us. Any questions regarding immersions, you can email us or anything else, assembly, fellowships, and all that stuff. You can email us and we'll respond back to you. We'll get back to you. And we will help you however best we can, according to the will of Yahuwah, Ruma, Mu Yahuwah. Until the next time, enjoy your Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom to you. We love you all. Thanks again for the support. Thanks again for the likes and shares so that those who are seeking the truth, they can find videos like this because it's hard right now to find true videos like this. You do find videos, but not a whole lot, and they are hard to find because it's being shadow banned. So any other channel you know like this, support them. They're not doing this for the money. I'm not doing this for the money. If I was, then I would preach something very popular. And I would have over 1,000 subscribers already. Look at the amount of videos that I have on the channel, that we have on the channel. Myself, Beloved Shaka, and others. Plus, on the video, what will be coming next is we'll be bringing testimonies to our channel. Because also in Revelation chapter 13, it says that we overcoming by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of our testimonies. So the family of Yahuwah's chosen people assembly, we will be putting together testimony videos to help persons in need because everyone is going through something and we all have someone who has been through it. And we would love to know how did they do it. So by sharing a testimony, it can help someone in their particular situation. So come into the channel as well. You can look out for testimonies from different brothers and sisters of the Yahuwah chosen people assembly. So as I said, we're not doing this for the likes. We're not doing this for the money. If we were, we would be doing this the way how the world does this. I would be leading them the way, that way. If I was for that, for the fame and the hype. But I'm not. We are not. We are not for that. And if I was leading that way, then the people of Yahuwah's chosen people assembly, they would not follow me. So if we were about the fame, the money, then we would say what you want to say what you want to hear. We will be over 1,000 subscribers or more. But we're doing this for true. We're doing this for Yahuwah's sake, for Yahuwah's will, and because of our sake and those who are in dark, because we are commanded to do so. Freely you receive, freely you give. Barak Yahuwah Yahusha. So, with that said, much love unto you guys. Enjoy your Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Ruma Bo Yahuwah. Barak Yahuwah Yadata. Tuda Yahuwah. You reign forever and ever. Aman. Barak Yahuwah. Shabbat Shalom.